What up? We're still missing one, right?
I think Talia, maybe Victor. Not sure.
Oh yeah. Um, Victor and what was the girl's name?
I think it's Talia. Is the way I remember it.
Italian. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys communicate with her at all, or Victor?
I don't, but I think Devin does because yesterday um she texted him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey Devin or Devonic, do you think you can give them a call or maybe a text? Hey Evelyn. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna press play, but I'm gonna make you a host. Okay. So if they start coming in, you'll be able to bring in, let them in. Okay.
All right, okay.
You know how to work that, right?
Not really, but I'll look it up.
Okay. Yeah. Usually, like something will pop out saying Talia wants to get in, admitted to let her in.
Okay, just that, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hi. Let's get a play one thing.
Let's see here. Make it the host. Awesome, you're the host now, but I'll be pressing play, and yeah, just let them in. And once this video is finished, because I'll probably be in the sit with an appointment, but I'll be back. It should be finished. Wow. So this is gonna be a long one, but a lot of information, especially with Vince. Vince has some great stuff. You guys might be hopefully ready with stuff to write down. But or you can definitely see this on YouTube. But since we are recording this whole session right now, we just want to make sure you guys do go through it. But this, as you can see here, the video, it's all the way to like 2 hours and 21 minutes. Yeah. So, do you guys want to just go right through it, or do you want me to come back like in an hour and just press pause, let you guys give you a little rest, or?
Me personally, I don't mind. I don't mind just going through the entire thing, but I don't know about Devin or anybody else. But me personally, I wouldn't mind like just go through the entire video.
Okay.
I record the as I watch it, I also record it to go over it whenever I had time. So.
Well, you can definitely, as you can see the screen, it's in YouTube. It'll be on,
On the Bena Agency. Okay.
Yeah, the Bena Agency channel. So you can definitely see all the training classes we have there, morning coffees. We have a lot of speakers there. But now, since you guys got to go through this training, we definitely got to have everybody here. And if you guys have any questions, you can definitely hit up the manager. But some of them are in Cancun right now. That's why they're not here right now. But yeah, definitely. I'll just go right through it, and I'll just be back I'll be coming in and out, and you see
All right.
how everybody doing. Okay.
All right.
All right. Awesome.
I don't know.
He did have like some medical thing happen to him last week, so maybe he's like recovering from it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
That would be it then. Just that gentleman. I thought there was one more.
Corey, which is that guy that the guy that worked at, what's his name? Yeah, Corey. But he hasn't been in the class in the past 3 days.
Okay.
All right. Two days, I think. Because I was not in I took the class on home the other day and I was sick.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started here. Guys, today, congratulations on making it this far. You're in the tail end of your second week of training here at the Bena Agency. And the next 3 months are going to determine the rest of your career. So keep doing the things that got you this far. Keep working hard. Keep giving it 110%. And I promise you this will give back 20 times that before you even lift your head up and take a breath and have time to relax. Now, today, what we're going to be going over is some key items that you guys are going to want to know for your first milestone. Your first milestone is getting released. becoming a benefits rep. Spreading your little butterfly wings out of the cocoon. On a single marker in here. Oh, here, I think I have it. That one? Yeah. Nice. All right. So, not only are we going to learn about things you'll need to be released and be on your own, to pass that test, to pass that phone call, but we're also going to go over a checklist of things that you should have down to ensure your success even greater than already before. Some key things that you want to have mastered as someone that's going to be a benefits rep first time. All right. So the first thing we'll go over is the phone call that you're going to be on that will determine if you get let out of training or not. Okay. So the phone call, just making sure Tommy wasn't calling me. The phone call, guys, I don't know what to call it, pretty much like just call it the phone call this afternoon. I don't like to use the word release anymore. I don't want anyone to think they're free or they're released or anything like you got to stop learning or you got to be done with, you're done trying as hard, you're done giving it your all, you've made it, you're nowhere close to have gotten to the point where you can say I've made it. You're still learning a lot. And over the next 90 days, you'll be learning the foundation, pouring the foundation of your career, so I don't know who these people are. They call me all day sometimes. Really? Yeah. With that being said though, so make sure you have questions for me as well at the end of this, because this will be your last training class. Some of you might be ready to go on Monday. Some of you might be ready to go next week. You want to have a couple things down that we'll go over before we can even allow you to be on this phone call, but we'll touch base on that after the actual phone call. So this will be with Giovanni for you, Lynn.
Yes.
And it will be probably for you, Ashlyn, with Casey or Josh. Who's your MGA, Ashlyn? Josh, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably be with Casey then. So what they're going to go over is just pretty much separate tests to show that you're proficient. They're going to go over the union phone call. They're going to go over rebuttals and objections on the phone call. They're going to go over, the different types of referrals. So I've written down some of the newer things that Geo has added since we went virtual. And I originally had this in my blue folder, but I think it's still in my office. So I'm going to run to my office real quick. I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm going to grab this finalized list for you guys. Sure. All right. So the first thing that they go over, one of the first things you want to have down is they're going to be going over like a union phone call, okay? So things that they're going to be looking for on this union phone call, for one, you're allowed to have your script out when you do it. For two, they're going to be hitting you with objections the whole time. Why does my wife have to be there? I'm busy on that day. I'm not interested anymore in these benefits. In which you're going to have to master and show on this phone call is rebuttals. Rebuttals. Great question, Joe. Your wife has to be there because she is actually the beneficiary, and she also has access to these benefits as well. So they need to understand. She needs to understand how this works with what you have. The union requires it. Something along those lines, right? Now, after I say that, I'm not just gonna say they require it and then sit there with my hands in my lap and not say anything. That's how you'll fail the release call. You wanna go and object and give a rebuttal and go back to the close. Rebuttal, then close. Bless you. Rebuttal, then close, all the time. Close is not obviously applicable when you're on a phone call, so it's really meaning schedule. Rebuttal, go back to the schedule. Rebuttal, go back to the schedule. Does that make sense, Joe? Okay, great. So like I said, we've been here for about a week and a half. We just got to figure out, are you and the wife still working the day shift? You know, always rebuttal and go back to the schedule. Or it shouldn't be some back and forth call and response little session where you're just going to lose every time. Well, why do I got to have my wife there? You tell him why, and then you're like, then he's like, well, I don't really want, I'm busy. And then you tell him why you're not busy, and he's busy, and then you guys are just, like it's never going to go. You have to have the control. You have to be leading the conversation. That's what they're going to be looking for. The next, is there any questions on this? Before I move on to the next thing.
Well, rebuttals, that's what I got to work the most on. Rebuttals.
Yes, sir.
Getting the script down,
Get it.
calling.
Yep. You'll be able to have it out. You'll be able to have your rebuttals out too. How about you, Ashley? Any questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Control over Zoom. Control over Zoom. How to establish. Also, how to get them on Zoom. Who can tell me some ways they establish control over Zoom?
Confirmation code.
Good. Yep. Confirmation code.
Pen and paper.
Grab a pen and paper. Get to a table somewhere you can take notes.
Ask them to move to sit closer.
Make them do stuff.
There you go. Get them to get closer. Is that what Gio taught you guys yesterday? Yes, sir. Good.
Have them grab their phone, add the contact under child safety kit. That's another thing that they're doing for you. So that's control.
Yeah. Yeah. Have them grab their phone. Absolutely.
Answer questions. Have them answer your questions.
Have them answer your questions. That's right. Get them in the habit of answering your questions. But in terms of the first couple minutes, it's kind of what you guys hit on in the first responses you gave me. You know, getting them to a table, getting them to get out a pen and paper, grabbing that confirmation code. Pretty much what I talked about in my first training class with you guys last Wednesday rather. You know, I talked about how the first thing out of your mouth should be the confirmation code. You know, verifying who they are. Not who I am. Who are you? Let me figure out who you are first. You know, that's going to make them be the ones playing catch up. They need to prove themselves to you. That's how the control, you know, starts. And, you know, we talked about how much control you already have when it's a union, especially from the rip. Getting them on Zoom. So they're going to say, all right, you know, the release call is going to be very cut and dry. There's not going to be any emotions or laughing or talking or short, you know, like small talk. He's just like, all right, he's just going to jump from thing to thing. Great. Sounds good. All right. Next thing. The client is ready to be on Zoom. Your appointment's in 5 minutes. What are you going to tell me to get me on Zoom? Ring, ring. And you're just going to be put on the spot. Hey, Joe, this is Lynn with American Income. Had that appointment today for any time between 3 and 4. Just wanted to great, how you doing? Great, awesome. Just want to let you know we just wrapped up with our last member and we're on your Zoom call now. We're ready for you when you are. Go ahead and hop on, grab a pen and paper. Mary's home, right? Great, go ahead and hop on there. I'll stay on the phone to get you to help make sure you can get on. How's your day today? Yada, yada. Do you guys know the 5 different types of referrals?
5 different types of referrals.
Yeah.
Like the 5 different times we look for referrals, or the types of referrals that are out there.
Types of referrals that are out there.
So child safety kit, will,
There's no will care referral.
oh yeah, no, I'm talking about the, how you call it? The discount card program. That's 2. Personals? No,
Insurance referrals.
insurance
That's easy.
referral. Cold contacts? No, that doesn't fall there.
That's not a referral. Full contacts and our referral. No, but you're doing good, Lynn. You got 3. Ashlyn, help him out. Get him to the final. Get him to the end.
Can you ask for referrals after like the AD&D, saying like where this is open to other people?
That would be, yeah, that would be one of them, yeah.
Okay.
You can count that. AD&D referrals, I know my team doesn't do those. They should. We just never got it down. The other ones, guys, are contingent beneficiaries.
Oh, contingent benefit.
The main one, the money maker, the layup, contingent bennies. No one can deny that, especially if they're in the union. I have to go see them for your no-cost insurance. Who do you want to make your contingent beneficiary? I do my VIBs after the whole sale is done. The summary sheet is wrote. The what comes next form has been gone over. You tell them what's going to happen. You solidify it. And then you say, all right, guys, before I get out of your hair here, scale of 1 to 10, how do you think I did for you today? Great. -5 from Joe, +10 from Mary. So I'm at a 5. I'm just kidding, Joe. I know you hate me. I'm kidding. But, you get the 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10, then you go into your VIBs. What do you think was most valuable? What was the most valuable part of the program today? And if I'm with the union, I'm going to use one of their little officer report forms to make it seem so much more legitimate. Have you guys seen an officer report form? Okay. Officer report forms, I'm trying to think, there's like a virtual one somewhere out there. I feel like there is, but I'll scan one and make sure to get that out. Well, Ashlyn, just ask Drew, he'll let you know. Officer report forms are a little 3x5 card, little reply card.
Oh, that's the one that we talked about?
No, it's a different kind of reply card. It's the same type, but maybe it's 3x2, I'm not sure. But the report form is pretty much has officer report form, name, address, phone number. What do you like best about the program? Was the representative courteous? Do you believe the program is of value? And then I think the representative's name goes at the bottom and the local union number. These officer report forms are what we use as backup and evidence when a group is a little bit upset because we've been blowing their phone lines up. Sometimes they think that we're doing more harm than good. But really what they don't know is how much good we've already done because no one talks about the good. So the report forms are what we can use and they should be collected in every union household. So instead of just doing straight up VIBs, I can use the report form, let them know that I'm going to send it back to the union and just say the same things I would for VIBs anyway. It matches up with what's on the form anyway. And then when you ask them to brainstorm suggestions of people that can benefit from the program, you flip it over and you write it on the back of the form, and he thinks it's like really a union sponsorship that's going on here, and it makes him that much more inclined to follow procedure. Yeah. So, report form, VIBs, valuable. What do you think is most valuable today? Okay. Was I courteous? Check yes. Okay. Do you believe the program is of value? Yes. Okay. What do you think was the most valuable part of the program? Great. Got an important question for you. Who can we brainstorm who could benefit from this program the same exact way that you did today, Joe, whether it's for the no cost benefits or maybe the life insurance at the end, those union rates, or maybe just the education in general? Who do you think you know that you could sponsor into the program that really wouldn't have access to this, that can take advantage of these the same way you did? Now, I know you said your brother lives right down the street, and I know we're going to be going to his house for the contingent beneficiary paperwork anyway. So while we're out there, we'll make sure your brother's in a good spot. But other than that, who else? Those last two sentences I just said can make you thousands of dollars. That's how you automatically turn a contingent beneficiary. Face is frozen on the TV. That's how you automatically turn a contingent beneficiary into an insurance referral without even really talking about it. They'll always just go, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, other than him, I don't really know. It's like, well, at least I got one person out of this. At least I got one sale out of this, 2 sales out of this. So.
And that's gonna bring even more.
Exactly. You can ride that out for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year. So contingent beneficiaries by doing the VIBs, and then there's one more called the catch-up program.
Catch-up program?
Catch-up program.
Tomato sauce program.
Tomato sauce program. Catch-up. So the catch-up program is on the way out of the house pretty much. You're like probably gonna do this after what you just did with VIBs. Say, hey, great, you got my word. I'll try to get a hold of Joe. No guarantees. Union members are my main priority, but I promise I'll do my best to get a hold of who you sponsored today. All right, Joe, any questions for me? All right, I'm gonna pretend I'm out the door, or I mean, you can't really pretend you're out the door on Zoom, but you'll be wrapping up here and you'll be like, all right, Joe, oh, I almost forgot. You're out of the Carpenters Local 250, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Your union is really honest about this. I forgot to mention, right now, for some reason, Ashlyn, 90% of the people in your union have been filling out the card just like you did, and they've been seen, and they've gotten their benefits, just like you guys did today. Everything's going good. We're helping out a lot of the families. But for some reason, like 10% of the people in your union, we've noticed, aren't getting a response, don't have their benefits. Now, we're not sure. They were saying there was something going on with the pandemic, with the mailing, like maybe all the cards weren't getting sent in, or they were saying something about the ink getting smudged, with the copier and everything. We're not sure what's going on, and who they are, we're not sure of either. It doesn't matter though. What does matter, Ashlyn and Lynn, is what we're doing to combat this, which is called the catch-up program. Your union's running the catch-up program right now. Every time we sit down with the carpenter from the Local 250, they have us collecting as many people as we can so that we can cross-check the system with a name and a number. And if they have been seen, we'll take them out of the list and kind of, prioritize the ones that haven't. If they haven't been seen, we're going to take them out of the bottom of the pile. We're going to take them to the top of the pile of the cards. You should see the cards we get. They're huge. They're in big stacks. So we'll make sure to prioritize them. Now, I know you have a lot of friends at work. I know when I was in the Carpenters Union, I had hundreds of numbers in my phone for all my guys and girls I worked with on every job site. So easiest way to do this, Lynn, is just to grab your phone and just go through the A's and the Z's, just like we did with the child safety kits. And then that way we can help out as many families as we can.
Boom.
You have to say that with a lot of conviction. You can't be a little B right there. You can't. You have to look at him like straight up. This is what it is. It's a freaking problem. It's a huge concern, and I am gung-ho about it. I am very adamant about it, and so is your union. You know what I mean? That way they don't say, or they can't not believe it if you're adamant about it. Like, what are they going to say? Like, you're full of crap? You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that we need to do that. Like, what are you talking, Joe? What are you talking about? This is like a serious issue. We don't come around too often. Why do you think? If they fight me on it, I'll be like, no, I understand, Joe. I know you might not want to give out names or numbers, but the thing is, we already have their names and numbers. We already have everyone's information from your union. We just need to cross-check the system. So if you'd be so kind to help this union, help your union out, they're asking for your help, because you told me it's been a year, 2 years since you filled out that card, right? Exactly. Imagine if I didn't come by today and show you everything that we did and get you signed up. You said the benefits were amazing. The education was your favorite part, and protecting the family was the best. If I never showed up today, none of that would have happened for a long time. Course of your life could have changed. Your family's financial security could have changed. Let's not let that happen to another family just because we don't want to, give some names and numbers. No one's going to use your name, Joe. I'll start laughing with him after being that abrasive. Don't worry, Joe. We just got to get it done.
Right.
Any questions on that?
It's fair.
These are the types of things I use to excel. The leads weren't doing it for me sometimes. The ones I would see, I would treat them like gold. I would squeeze everything I could out of them. And that's what would get me a good couple thousand ALP sales to keep getting my pitch fine-tuned and, my real sales with real leads better and better. These referrals are freaking huge. Promise you, if you don't implement these, you're going to have a hard time. You have to implement these. They're going to sound awkward. It might not sound right. You might feel weird. You might want to give up, but that can't stop you. Keep trying each referral collecting attempt, and you will get better and better, and it will feel more and more comfortable until there's nothing that anyone can say, and you're just a referral collecting machine that can be self-sufficient and needs and can just at a snap of a finger make it happen. Any questions on the referrals? Most important part of the close. What's the most important part of the close?
The most important part of the close.
Of the closing process, what part do you think is the most important?
I agree with them. Okay. The most important part of the close, have them understand everything.
That's probably the most important part of the presentation.
Yeah, the presentation.
How about you, Ashlyn? I love picking on you.
I'm not sure.
All
I don't know.
right. Well, now hopefully you'll remember, because I'm not sure it will make you fail your release call. So, guys, the most
Notification. No, never mind.
close. That was close. That was close.
I'm still brainstorming. Like, I'm thinking about the most important parts of everything.
I'll let you brainstorm for another few seconds because I think you're really close.
All right, so notification is closed. Damn, a signature, like, we need the signature. Without a signature, we got nothing.
The check? What
The
is
check.
Oh, man.
No. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff, but I think the right stuff. I don't think it is.
After that, they ask you what the art of the close is as well. What's the art of the close?
The art of the close.
The art of the close.
Dude, I have this in my note. Hold on. I got this somewhere. No. All right, training class with Tommy. I think I have it here. Assume the sale.
Yes. Sale. Let's go.
Assume the sale.
All right. Most important part of the close is assuming the sale. The art of the sale is the takeaway. The takeaway. Like Wiz's song, gives me a feeling that no one can take away from me.
So as much as you guys want this, as much as you guys need this, and as much as I want to get you guys caught up with all our union members, we just got to make sure you even qualify.
That's right.
Now, have you ever been advised by a medical physician to stop drinking or being part of the AA
Or NA.
or NA?
Good job, buddy. That's the takeaway. Assuming the sale is asking them which area of concern they would choose if they knew they weren't going to be coming home tomorrow. Which area of concern would they want to guarantee was protected, no matter when, no matter how? Oh, I like your outfit today.
I picked it for him.
You picked it for him. Wow. So asking them which one do you think, if you wanted to guarantee was taken care of for the family, no matter when, no matter how. That's assuming the sale. You're assuming they're already buying it, right? Which one do you want to make sure is protected? Assuming the sale on your guys' script over there with Drew and Josh, I think is a little bit different. It's like, knowing that these are going to be left behind to your family. It's like, how much do you want to get taken care of? You know what I'm talking about, right, Ashlyn? Yeah, because they have a little bit of a different part. They still ask them, like, what is the most important one they want to take care of? But there's like one more sentence I feel like they have in theirs where they're like, no, maybe that's it. I think that's just it.
No, because everything that I'm thinking of, it's just the question, like, which of these, if you had to choose, is the most important to you?
Okay, so there's nothing else before that, after that, a sentence or two, like that also kind of assumes that they're going to get it.
I can't remember.
I think we're good. I think that's exactly what it is on both presentations. But yeah, and then the art of the close, the takeaway is what Lynn said. As much as you need this, much as your family needs this, we just got to see if you can even qualify. Any questions, guys? Okay, these next two are pretty big for retention. Solidification and the rated risk presentation. So he's going to say, all right, I picked an option for option B. It's $125 a month. What are you going to say from here? Go. And then you're going to be like, all right, all nervous. No, I'm just kidding. But solidification, right? It's on your scripts. You have my word. I have your word. All right, I'll tell you what ours is, right? Lynn, option B, great option. Tell you what, Lynn, just want to let you know we can get this knocked out real quick. We'll get you all wrapped up and ready to go and enrolled. Just want to let you know that you have my word. I'll always be here for you and the family. I'm just a phone call away. I don't care if it's a beneficiary change, an address change, or a peanut butter and jelly for little Jimmy. Whatever it is, just give me a phone call. I may not be in the same state, but I'll always be here a phone call away, right? Now, I just want to have your word on the other end, on the flip side, that if anything ever comes up with this policy in the future, good, bad, or ugly, if you have any problems, I have your word, Lynn, you'll always give me a call first before making any changes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Nice. Right? Great. Awesome. Well, that's, yes. So they'll say, yes, you have my word. And I'll be like, great. Now, also, that $123 a month, Lynn, is that comfortable for you? That's not going to take food off the table, drastically change anybody's lifestyle or anything like that, right?
I believe not.
Okay. Because what I don't want to, what we don't need is a phone call a week from now saying that you can't afford this, because if that's the case, you're missing the whole reason why I'm out here. This isn't some short-term fix or another bill. This is an investment. This is a long-term solution you're putting in place for you and your family. So you're sure that the 123 is comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Great. Let's go ahead and get you squared away. Who would you like to be your beneficiary? What's your height and weight? Go right into it.
5'7", 800 pounds.
Okay, you can't qualify. You're a Tyrannosaurus Rex. T12. All right.
T25 had a
T20 like a Terminator or something.
Oh my god.
All right, solidification rated risk. So that was now you get the app filled out, and at the very end, you're going over the what comes next form. And if you have one in person, I just, when I was in the virtual game, I just would use my pen and I would just read from it. I'd be like, over the next 7 days, you'll receive a call from like a teacher with like children, for story time. And
But it's a good question right there on that one.
there's also digital ones too. You can
Really?
share your screen, yeah, if you want.
Because I know that we can't sell to anybody outside of Illinois, and if we don't have a non-resident license.
Oh, yeah.
So do we let them know if anybody asks, you bought this in Illinois, right? Do we let them know that? Because the moment that they say, no, I'm in Oklahoma, he was in Illinois, boom, terminated, and then you get in a lot of trouble with AIL.
Well, I mean, I would hope that you would know where they're living before you get into everything.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but we have to prepare them for the call, because I know that in the call, they ask them, where were you taken care of?
Yeah, the
And
sign.
they can't say you were taken care of in your state because you were in your state, but I don't have a non-resident license there. So you gotta let them know, hey, how do we let them know that we would get in trouble if they don't say they got it in Illinois? Because that's one thing that I've seen that could potentially destroy yourself.
I mean, you can't sell to people outside the state, so like you just, especially for sake of this training classes, I'm being recorded right now and possibly being put on YouTube.
Correct.
I won't really get into anything like that because that's illegal, but
Just get your non-resident license, that's it.
you want to make sure you grab your non-resident license, and if someone really is just living in Illinois, but they're in Oklahoma for the weekend, I mean, you can, hopefully the husband's still in Illinois, and, you can let them know, like, hey guys, I know that you really live in Illinois. I know you're just out right now for the week. But typically we're coming to everyone's homes to get them set up with this. I can't technically provide you with coverage while you're in Oklahoma. But what we can do is just hop back on when you get home, and you can sign when you get home,
Okay, perfect.
or you can just, if you think they're really trustworthy and you don't want to lose the sale and make them hop back on another day, you can just be like, I legally can't tell you what to do, Lynn, but I know you really live in Illinois, so I would just let them know that if they ask that you were still at your place, you weren't on this vacation that you're on right now, and really everything will be just fine. If anything, I'm the one that can get in trouble, not you, Lynn, right? But that's just not recommended. That's not good when it comes to the regulations and the Department of Insurance. You always want to act as if they're right over your shoulder there. But anyway, so good question. Is there any other questions on anything like that?
So solidification and rated risk, that's one question that they'll be asking, and it's just like making sure that amount is comfortable for them and that they're not gonna return it in a week.
Yeah, solidification is that what I just went over. Rated risk is when you get to the what comes next form and you tell them over the next 7 days, over the next 2 to 6 days, their 123 will come out just to make sure you're covered immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it will come out on the 23rd because that's the day you chose. Does that sound good? You said that works for you, right? So that's I solidify it again. I'm like, that's good, because a lot of times they don't know that. You have to say it exactly like I'm saying it. Over the next 2 to 6 days, this will come out of the account to make sure you're covered immediately. They'll be like, oh, that makes sense. And then it won't come out again until the next month on the 23rd. That's comfortable for you that you said that's going to work. That's good. Okay, great. Now, over the next several days, you'll receive a call from home office in Waco, Texas to verify the information that we put down in the application, make sure I didn't mess anything up, put your birth date down wrong or anything like that. 2-minute phone call. It's going to be coming from Waco, Texas. I always tell them, I never tell anyone to answer 800 numbers, but this will be an 800 number. Look out for it. Take note of it real quick. Write down for me, Lynn, 800-411-8808. That's the number that they'll be calling for that verification call. And I believe you said the best time to call was 6 to 9, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's retention. That saves retention. They know the call is coming. You don't get a bulletin. You don't get it not sent because they couldn't get on the phone. If it's over 1,500 ALP and you're in your first 90 days, they're going to need a verification call from us, like Edgar from front desk as well. So you'll need to let them know there's going to be 2 verification calls. One will be from our number that's on Google, our home office number. give them that area code as well. And the other one will be from our home office in Texas. That will be the 800 number. And obviously Edgar is going to be calling before the apps get sent off, which is Monday to Wednesday between the hours of 8 and 3. So you got to be very specific. It's not going to turn them off. You're just going over systems and procedures. It actually makes it more solid.
More.
They
professional
feel
as well.
that's, yeah, exactly. So people always try to rush that or stray away from that. Promise you, you'll lose silly money to something silly as that. And it really, it's bad on the client because they don't have coverage now and you probably ain't going to see them again. And it's bad on you because now you didn't get your ALP, now you didn't get the production. So for something that's as silly as them being confused and now I got drafted. I didn't know I was going to get drafted on this date. And, oh, you know what? We're just going to let it go. We're just going to, it bounced my account, $35 overdraft fee. We're just going to let it go,
They even had us asking before, it's like how much money do you have in your bank account? I just want to make sure you can afford it. That thing, it was weird.
It's like a sales tactic, I feel like.
Yeah.
Let me finish the last part of the what comes next form, and then I'll take your question. The last part is it says over the next this is the rated risk. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks, your insurance application will be finished with underwriting. During this time, and this is all on that paper. During this time, you'll still receive deductions and you'll still be covered if something happens to you. Now, after the 6 to 8 weeks is over, the underwriting process will be finished. You'll receive your policy from home office and you want to put that in a safe place. During underwriting though, Lynn, they have me tell you 3 things can happen during underwriting. 1, you could get approved standard for the price that we talked about today, meaning that all the medical questions and all the history is truthful and it holds up with what they find. 2, you could be declined, which means maybe something very concerning popped up in your medical records. Obviously, you don't have anything concerning in your medical records, but you could possibly be declined if they found something along those lines. And then the last thing that could happen is you could be rated. And just like with car insurance, when you have a history of bad accidents, they give you a little bit of a higher rate. And it's the same thing. I know you said you had diabetes and high blood pressure. So you might look to see a $5 or $10 a month rating there. That's what I'll say for someone that has problems. For someone that doesn't have problems, I'll say, but you don't have any problems or concerns with your health. So you most likely won't be rated. This will be the price you pay for the rest of your, that will be the run that's locked in. But they just have me tell you, you could be rated for a health problem. And if it's over $10 a month, Ashlyn, they actually have me call you and discuss different options from there before we can put that through. If it's under $10 a month worth of a rating, they actually just build it into your premium automatically. They'll just build it into your premium automatically. And I still call you either way. So that's the rated risk. You could be rated for a health concern. If it's over 10, I have to call you, discuss your options from there. If it's under 10, it's built into your premium automatically. Either way, I'll still call you. Any questions on that, guys? All right, great. And then you get the VIBs going and get the VIBs called, call the referrals that you can and get out the door. And you just made thousands of dollars in 2 hours and just rolled another $2,000 in another 10 minutes and your life is good. Families are protected. You feel good. They feel good. You're doing a great thing.
Your pocket is protected. You're protected. You're protecting them.
Right. What was your question now?
I do remember one thing about this before, but they had us mention every single person we signed up, every single person. When we do the app, we put all the information in, we get them locked into A, B, or C. Let's say they choose B. B is $120 a month. But I don't remember how it went exactly, but they told us the first draft is going to be this amount. The remaining drafts for the rest of your life are going to be $12 less. Or it was something like that. And I used to see it because I used to see it right there that there was a $12 first time fee that goes within it, and then Because they had, let's say that it was $120. Then they had to tell, okay, so this is what it is, and then the rest of your life is gonna be $12 less. Okay, does that make sense? Because then they see
Accident and
that
health.
they,
Accident and health.
yeah,
Those policies, the hospital policies, accident and health policies, there's a yearly fee to like get started.
there you go. So
Yeah.
like that's another thing that they were gonna say, you know what? And actually, your first draft is only this. But then the remaining balance, the remaining drafts that you're gonna get is actually $12 less. So I actually helped you save another $12. And at that point, they see that you're actually helping them saving more money. And they would lock them into stuff. You know, there's little beats and things that would give people interest. And after you lock them in a price, oh, it's $120 a month. Okay, I could afford that. Oh, actually, look, it will be $12 less for the rest of it. $12 less, even better. Type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, you don't gotta worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
Another question I had a long time ago that I completely forgot about.
it's good. It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. It's like an initiation fee kind of for the hospital stuff. It's weird. Any other questions about the solidification rated risk?
We good so far?
Guys got this number?
Yes.
All right. The last thing that you want to have down for this call is you might possibly get hit with a close. I want to think about it. He's gonna be like, oh yeah. He's gonna be like, how do you display your options? You're gonna be like, option A is this, option B is this, option C is that. We just gotta figure out which one makes the most sense to you, which one's gonna fit your family's needs the most. And then he's gonna be like, I want to think about it. And you're gonna have to hit him with it. So get your closes down.
Mhm. I do remember one close that was preparing them before the presentation.
Nice.
That said, guys, usually I think I remember it's kind of like that, kind of like this, guys. I'm not 100% sure if that's the wording.
Uh-huh.
There's just two things there's just it was one or two things. There's a thing that most people tell me at the end of this presentation, and it's for them that say that I want to think about it. And I tell them right up front, like, I don't want to hear it, I want to think about it. Because when you hear it, I want to think about it, that means you have a question. And I want to make sure I answer all your questions. At the end of the presentation,
Ooh, that's good.
they would literally not say, I want to think about it. You got a question? Let me answer your question. You want to think about it? That means you got a question. What's your question? And some
That's
people,
really
a lot
good.
of people actually got really close in that. And I closed like 3 sales on that closing line. That you actually prepared in the beginning. You guys want to think about it? Well, that means you guys just have a question. You guys have a doubt on something. And I want to answer that question. So there's either two answers, a no or an I want to think about it. And I want to think about it. It's a question you guys have. And I'm here to answer all your questions.
Wow, nice. That's good. That makes them proactively.
At the end of the sale, they wouldn't say I want to think about it. They would actually say, I got a question.
That's like on the mandatory read-off letter, how it says like, that's basically saving me from something like I want to think about it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's avoiding it. In their mind, I already know that you're not going to accept and I want to think about it. This is the question. I don't know if I worded it properly, but we just got to word it right.
No, that sounded worded properly to me.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, shit. Oops.
I have a
All
question.
right, guys. Now. Oh, sure. Yep.
When would you say that? Like, if you want to think about it at the end, like, that means you have a question? Like, at what point would what would a good point to say that?
Because we're going to go through a lot of information today. So if you guys have any questions, stop me. Maybe there, right?
Probably. Yeah. That's a tough question.
We have to find where to put it in the script if we implement it,
I'd probably say that after the mandatory read-off letter. It's probably the best place to say that.
Yeah, because we could put it.
Yeah, you could slide it right in there.
Yeah, we could put it into like the union says or something like that.
They asked you to make this decision today. That's just saving us from saying something, hearing something silly like, I want to think about it, because if you want to think about it, really what that means is you have a question. And if you have any questions, you might want to, yeah, right there.
That's perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So the next thing we're gonna go over, guys, is just about like 10 to 15 things that you want to have down for being, you know, an independent benefits rep. And it's kind of like a little checklist that they used to have us really make sure everything was down on the checklist, but we're a little bit lighter with it now. But we're gonna go over like, you know, how to handle a single, how to handle a senior, how to handle someone that's uninsurable, you know, any kind of collecting and calling referrals. If you guys have any questions on those, we're going to go over how retention works and how your net to gross works, and how you have to have certain amount of net to gross to keep your bonus, and a few more things. So let's take a 15-minute break. I'm going to head to the vending machine, grab a water, hit the restroom. You guys, whatever you got to do, stretch your legs.
Man, my back, my whole body hurts from yesterday. For real, I have scoliosis and a dislocated, well, actually Oh, again. Let me see. Stand back there. I know I have ugly hands.
Huh.
Wow, he's not focusing.
No.
Well, I guess we gotta get glasses for this camera.
I know, that's what
Discount card for it
put my
though.
contacts on.
I should give it a piece of gum before you do that again.
Oh, I think it worked.
Did it work?
I think so. Everything was clear. Wait. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Oh, you're good.
All right. You're explaining my glasses next.
Okay, so real quick, guys, that break went a little bit longer than expected, about 10 minutes overtime there from the 15 I talked about. So got a little nice break. Some things to get down, guys. Of course, you want to have all the closes down. You want to have your I want to think about it down. You want to have your I can't afford it down. The more time that goes on, you don't have those down, you're just delaying the inevitable. You're delaying the time where I don't care if you're closing people without having to do closes, it's gonna come. That family's gonna come, and you're gonna feel really upset that you had not had it successfully done. Now, how to establish control and why it's important. Can anyone tell me why control is important? Give me two reasons, a couple reasons why it's important.
Then you won't sell nothing.
Why not?
Because they won't care about you and why you're there.
They won't care about you. What do you think, Ashlyn? Why is control important?
I feel like it gives like a level of respect too, like you're in charge and controlling the situation. They're more likely to listen and respect what you're saying.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know more than them in a subject that they have no idea about.
Right.
You better listen.
Right. Absolutely. It's just like a doctor. You know, when you go into the doctor's office, you just wait around in this room for probably half hour. You don't even know what's going on. Then a dude comes in, hey, how you doing? Looks at what the nurse just came in and did. She just typed your whole life story into the laptop. He comes in, looks at it. He says, bend over, cough. You bend over and cough. He says, touch your knees. Let me smack your knee with this mallet thing. He smacks your knees with the mallet thing. He touches your tonsils. Oh, yep. Looks like you got strep throat. Here you go. You need this prescription right here. Take this to get rid of your strep throat. Does anybody question the doctor when they get that done?
No.
No.
You sure he's a strip club?
Yeah.
No.
Because he has control, right? How to handle a single compared to how to handle a senior. With a single person, you want to obviously gear your term and hold and your needs a little bit more towards cash value, investment, the long run, health and age. Drop little golden nuggets throughout the presentation. That's why I got mine when I did, because the younger you are, cheaper it is.
Should we keep our policies on?
No brainer.
I have my policy at my house. If they actually do you even have this? Cool.
Yeah, I would. I don't think they're gonna ask you that, but I would tell them, yeah. I'd keep your policy around, yeah. You can always show them what a real whole life policy looks like. How about a senior? What do you think we focus on selling with a senior?
Funeral expenses, will.
What do we got? What do we got that goes along with the funeral?
Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice. Yes, sir. Seniors want something guaranteed. Seniors like to pay for something that's going to guarantee a return. It's going to guarantee them what they want. That's why they hang around on. That's why they're victims of infomercials all day, every day. Because what do infomercials always say? Guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get your money.
if you took the COVID vaccine
Yeah.
10 years ago, you were guaranteed
Right.
a
Guaranteed to be the cleanest carpet you've ever seen with our new Shark Mop Pro, all that stuff. They like guarantees. They want concrete. They want something to be certain. They like certainty. I'm certain you take this freedom of choice down to anywhere, it's going to always take care of the funeral and make it very easy. Guaranteed 3 to 5 day payout. Funeral's always taken care of, guaranteed. No other company has that, right? How to handle an uninsurable client.
You just can't get this, man.
What do you think, Ashlyn? How to handle an uninsurable client?
You go through the presentation.
I have no idea, actually.
How about you?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's uninsurable, should we still go through the entire presentation?
I mean, where would you find out that they were uninsurable? Rapport, the discount card,
Report the discount card and medications they're taking because if you're
from the
taking
discount card,
medication,
drug plan.
that's in the beginning.
Yeah, which ones do you take? I might be able to help point you in the right direction.
Exactly. So now if they're taking stuff to work because they're in the hospital not long ago, you gotta find out if they were hospitalized in the past 3 years, 2 years,
Mhm.
5 years.
5 years.
Hospitalized in the past 5 years, children, any of that stuff. Because I wouldn't go into the whole entire presentation if I know their income qualified.
Well, good question. Glad you brought that up. So if they're uninsurable and you find that out in the discount card, you want to start focusing on the healthy spouse. You want to start making sure you put emphasis on the healthy spouse, build the need for the healthy spouse. You want to make sure you start putting emphasis on the no cost benefits so you can get good referrals collected, right? Put more emphasis on just being someone that's there to help and educate rather than to sell and make a point. And they'll start to like that more and more. And when you ask them for referrals at the very end and you don't even sell them anything because you told them, I'm just going to be honest, you can't qualify. I mean, they're going to be that much more inclined to be like, this is an honest guy just doing honest work. He didn't push me. He wasn't salesy. He wasn't pressuring me. Yeah, I'll give him referrals. I can easily see you sitting down with my family. Give them someone that they can see sitting down with their family. But on the other hand, if they have a healthy spouse, you want to sign up the healthy spouse. You want to double up the coverage on the healthy spouse. Up until age dang near 40.
Dude, there's something wrong with the market. There's something wrong with the boards out here. You use a market and a board, the board dries it out. There you go.
Up until age 40, the $100,000 Select Life policy, if you go in your rate book, it's going to show them a cash value at age 65 is like 30 G's, like at least 20 grand and above. It's like 20 plus K.
But which was select life?
$100,000 Select Life.
Not to operate.
What's the cash value at 65 for a 40-year-old? Should just show you right there in the column.
65,
65.
40-year-old. We look at. Wait, CV or
CV, cash value, yep.
30,128.
30,000, and that's at age 40, right? 45, what is it?
45. We're looking at 26,765.
26 grand,
Why
right?
is it going down?
Because there's less time from then to 65.
Okay.
Yep. But same time though, that's just 65. Joe's gonna die in his 70s, right? So they're gonna have even more cash value by the time their unhealthy spouse actually dies. You're gonna have, unless you're grabbing this thing, even if you grab it at age 50, there's still probably gonna be 15, 20 grand in there at 65.
65 is nothing.
50.
Oh, so if you grab it at 50, let's say you grab it at 50, that's 22,232.
22,000, right? So they're always, most likely you're going to catch them and sell them before this age, before they get older.
Wait, so how does select work? I'm sorry to interrupt. Select 100,000. That's for seniors.
Whole life. That's just whole life.
That's just whole life.
It's just different
Okay.
tiers.
Oh yeah, the select.
Executive,
where you choose to
preferred.
be- Okay.
Mhm.
Now I know where I am.
So, that what I'm getting at is if Joe can't qualify because he's had 3 heart attacks and he's not even going to qualify when he's a senior either. I mean, pretty much no matter what, even if he can qualify when he's a senior, that's a far time away. We don't want him to have to pay for those senior rates, wait all that time, and maybe not even be insurable as a senior, right? So with Joe as a senior, or with Joe as being an uninsurable spouse, I'm going to get Mary $100,000 policy, no matter what the price is, because what Joe and Mary would have paid for their two policies separately is most likely going to be well affordable to put together for Mary's $100,000. That way, when Joe dies, Mary always has at least 20 grand in her cash value to pull out and pay for his funeral.
Right. Oh, now we're gonna focus on her cash value because she can't pull the money out when he dies.
Yeah, you pretty much tell him before you write down the options, you'll say, instead of saying, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to qualify, you'll say, now Mary, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to qualify, but Joe, unfortunately, due to the heart history that you have, make it as easy as you let him down easy. Due to that history you have, they can't offer coverage right away, and I think they might be able to get you covered for what you want, but health, I think the rating would be so high that it wouldn't even worth the rating they're going to give you. That's like a nice way of saying you're going to get declined, without saying you're going to get declined. Because if you tell someone they can't have something, it kind of turns them off the whole thing.
Or they got money and they're like, I don't care, I want the coverage. They know they had 2 heart attacks in the past. They got money.
Heart attack, I mean, he's really getting declined. I'm just trying to tell him nicely that he's, but I'd be like, no, I mean, I'd be like, for sure, Joe, like, I'll tell you what, like, if that's how you want to roll, like, that's rare that they're going to be like, I don't care, I'll pay whatever. Then I'll be like, all right, well, we got to trial you at least. We have to trial you. Like, according to underwriting, I have to trial you. We'll go ahead, we'll double up on the healthy spouse. We'll double up. What we always do for people in this situation is we double up on the healthy spouse, which is your wife, Mary. We can get her a bigger policy. So remember how I said your policies grow cash value, Joe?
Yeah.
By the time you're older, let's say your trial doesn't go through and you get declined, and maybe no life insurance company wants to cover you at all. Just because you got Mary a bigger policy today, she'll always have enough cash value in her account to take out and pay for your funeral once you do pass. And then what happens to her policy after she does that? Well, as long as she leaves a couple $100s in her cash value, the policy will still stand. There'll just be a loan out on the policy for 20 grand. And when she dies, she'll only get 80 instead of 100. That's all.
So you guys split it into 2,
Right. Like Mary still gets 80. You still got your 20. Yeah. And if he wants to get really technical and say, well, isn't there interest on that 20 grand loan? Yeah. I mean, she's 65, 75, 70 years old. Like, if you're dying, she's probably close to dying too. So what are we really talking about? A few years of interest? 8% of 20 grand?
$1,000 out of the 80, $75,000 out of the 80.
73 out of the 80. Exactly. Spot on. Sometimes people are so concerned about the interest rates. Like, we're talking 8% on, let's say someone takes out 10 grand.
8% of 10 grand is
$800. $800 a year coming off of 80 grand, 90 grand. I mean, it's all right.
Pretty reasonable.
Better than any other type of loan you're going to ever go try to get anywhere.
Better than the loan she's going to get to pay for your funeral.
Exactly. They're going to charge her 20% interest rate, need half of it right away.
You're going to have to sell the car.
Hurting your credit. They'll come after you if you don't pay it back. We just keep taking it off your death benefit if you don't pay us back, and you still get money. And that was never your death benefit in the first place.
And the credit bureau will never know about it.
And the credit bureau will never know about this. And you paid 0 income tax on that loan as long as your policy is still in force. You paid 0 income tax on that loan. You can take 20 grand, go flip it in an investment, repay your 20 grand back, take your profit, and never pay a single ounce of income tax.
Would you do the same with a 20-year paid up with somebody that's younger?
Would I do what?
Would you do the same with a 20-year paid up with somebody that's younger? No, right?
We don't have 20-year paid up.
You don't?
We just have reduced paid up options.
Oh, reduced paid up options.
For each policy. You can take it at your 20th year.
Yeah, right.
But we don't have that like single pay, 20 pay,
Exactly.
But would I do the same thing? Like, what do you mean?
Like if he's an insurable and then, like she is gonna take some cash value, so like something that adds up cash value faster.
Oh yeah, like a paid up at 65 will add more cash faster, I
That's
think.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or just a bigger policy usually is what you want to go for. True. You know, if the 100 grand isn't floating their boat with the 20 grand in their cash value, show them 150, show them 200. If they're young, that 200 will go quick.
Oh, yeah.
Easy way to tell is by looking at the 100 grand cash value. If you want to know what it's going to be for 200 grand, just double it.
But just add it.
Just double it.
Okay, so if she were to get at 50 years old, at 65, he would have 22,232, so it'll be 44,400.
For a 200 grand policy, yeah. Yeah.
And but for a female, it would be 19,000, so double it up.
38.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's even a little bit more because there's more cash in there.
And this is from 2017.
Yep. That's from 2021. It's just 2017 CSO. That's what all the life insurance companies, that's like the
2019 rates.
Yeah, that's like the mortality chart, the 27th. That's like the last time they updated their mortality,
Rates,
chart,
yeah.
rates and everything, cause of deaths in the US and everything like that, risk pools, stuff like that. It's from 2017. And that's why the prices went up and the cash value went down, unfortunately. We had one that said 2001 CSO and the cash value on that 100 grand was like 8 grand higher.
What?
Yeah, unfortunate. It used to be a really nice selling point.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's what I used to get a lot of truck drivers. What?
Yeah.
Cash value?
Mm-hmm.
4.5%? I don't have to pay it back? What?
Yeah.
That's my next tractor.
Yeah, that's my next truck right there. Any questions on that, guys? Obviously, of course, focus on referrals as well.
Yeah.
When to use a senior presentation? Well, when they're over the age of 60. And it automatically pops up. So now, you guys can, if you get to a senior who's 60 years old, and maybe their, senior life only lets you do 0 to 30 grand.
Oh yeah, they don't let you go.
They don't let you go past 30. So let's say there's a senior that's like wealthier and they can afford over $300 a month for 30 grand, $200 a month for 30 grand, and they want to see 50 or 100. You can show them the regular super combo. They just have to qualify for those questions. A lot of seniors over 60 probably won't.
Would you go with a term? Because after 65, they don't let you do term.
Yeah, term's going to be done at 65, 70. But you can show the person like, yeah, I can qualify you for 50 grand and 100 grand. And I can write you down bigger options, Joe. But you can't have like a lick of anything wrong with you. I won't say that to him, but I'll tell him like, I'll proactively do this in my mind. I'll be like, this dude wants something big,
Like you have to have no medical issues.
Yeah, like I'll ask him like the regular super combo questions and make him feel like it's the senior one, and they'll feel like it's more hard to qualify. They'll feel even more
The senior
entitled.
has only like 10 questions, right?
It's like 7 questions.
Yeah.
You can pretty much be dying and qualify for the senior one. But, for the regular one, if as long as you don't have anything besides like high blood pressure, you're
too high.
You're pretty all right, But like diabetes, maybe asthma's probably okay too. But like certain things after 60, if you try to get them some regular whole life, the underwriting team is looking at them tough as hell. So it's almost like not even worth it sometimes if they do have some problems, because they're just going to be rated or declined for something very small, So if they're perfectly healthy and didn't answer yes to a single one of those questions, right click the applications button on the app, hit add form, and just add the super combo in there, punch his name in. But now, since he's over 60, guess what? They won't let you choose 0 to 30 on the regular super combo. They'll only let you do 30 plus.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
They only let you do 30 plus in the super combo?
If you're doing it for a
If you're doing it
60-year-old
for a
plus.
senior?
Yeah.
They won't let you do less than 30.
No.
Automatically, they have to go with the senior policy.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Spot on. Yep. And the price ain't that much different, even if you could go with regular 30
Right.
compared to senior 30. We're talking like $20 more for senior. And they're qualifying with like mad problems. Sometimes the rating they would have got from the regular super combo would have been higher than what they would have paid with no rating for senior.
Even if they smoke, they wouldn't win.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, if they smoke, they'll be all right.
Yeah?
For the regular one, yeah. Shoot a text to your managers. Always ask them, hey, you think she can qualify for regular? But that's only, typically seniors don't have the money to be throwing out more than what 0 to 30 costs anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're on pension.
Nor do they need more than 30 at that point,
If they're not in the next 10 years, then
Yeah.
10, 15 is going to be just 12 grand, 15 grand for a funeral.
referrals, assuming, collecting, calling, selling, ruling, giving the client a homework assignment to get them talked to. Does anyone have any questions on that? You want to hear me do one or something?
Sure.
Yeah? Which one?
Senior presentation?
What, like a referral? No, not a presentation.
But like, okay, so you said do one out of what? Because you
Like,
said.
do you want me to, I can show you how to call, how to collect, how to assume, like what do you want to see? Assuming, collecting, calling, selling, calling referrals?
I'm having trouble with my calling in general. I have to get it down.
Calling in general is all about being loud,
Yeah.
all about bringing the noise.
And they tell me here I'm not loud enough. I get home and my mom's like, why are you screaming?
What do you, I mean, I work with you all day in the phone, so we can fix that, but just know if you guys, need to see collecting or calling or setting of certain referrals, they're all on YouTube. They're all on the another website that's really good is the keyforsuccess.com. Someone named James Kiefer, who was on Tommy's RGA deal in Pittsburgh, made this website and put like everything down on there. The keyforsuccess.com.
There's something we should just use chalkboards.
The keyforsuccess.com. The login is agent. Password is unfortunately, I think it's Trump 2020.
You did not say that.
That's James Kiefer for you.
Wow. The entrepreneurs of this place.
See if I can go back to the text. But
So it's the key, not key, it's the key.
it's his last name, the Kiefer.
I wrote it wrong then. I wrote the key for success.
Yeah, it's Trump. No, it's guest. It's
Oh,
guest.
thank God. Lord.
No,
Jesus
the password.
Christ.
No, the password's still.
Oh. Okay.
It's capital. It's guest is the username is guest. GUEST. The password is Trump 2020 with all capital letters. Sorry to anybody that's
That's okay.
It's okay. You'll survive.
Agent, then Trump 2020, right?
Guest.
Oh, guest.
Guest. You'll find millions and millions of dollars worth of information on that website. Millions. Simon Arias, Marcus Smith, other successful high-performing state directors doing their very own workshops on referrals, how to collect them better, POS, closing, rebuttals, everything. Everything is on there. This training checklist is on there. Release call study guide is on there. You should be indulging in that every day on the way to the field or every night on the way home. You should be taking something from there, 100%. And then other than that, you have YouTube, Tommy Vina's YouTube. Just Google Tommy Vina, and there's a whole 48 videos from when he was at Arias. Again, a lot of great stuff from Simon, all kind of stuff on there as well. A lot of them are recordings that are on the Key for Success, but they're actually videos on YouTube. So great stuff on there for sure about calling, collecting, assuming referrals, homework assignment. Must have 50 referrals on the laptop before you can be released.
What?
You and Marvin got to collect 50 referrals before you can get released. That way, when you get released, you can have 50 referrals to go mess with.
Well, I have 3 people that I'm talking to, my landlord.
Just do it from the house.
Yeah.
5 a house, 10 a house, 5 sits, 10 sits, you're done.
Yeah.
How to fill out an application. How many times have you guys taken a nap in the home?
In a home?
In a presentation, how many times have you done an application?
Before a bunch, but not lately.
Not now? Not once?
I did the 2 homeworks that you told me. Then the presentations we went to do with Marvin, the guys didn't show up. I mean, they didn't even open the door. You remember that?
Keep doing the homework assignments. I got more for you. Ask me at night. I got more apps I can give you. And then there's also a schedule that he's supposed to be having you on where he gives you a different homework assignment every night. Most of them are from the Key for Success or YouTube. But you want to make sure you fill out the application like 40 times. Like just do like 20 to 40 like rough drafts of the homework assignments. I have ones that have diabetes. I have ones that have depression. I have ones that have an uninsurable spot. All kind of examples I can give you.
I filled a bunch of those. So
Good.
I'm somewhat familiar with that. You know?
Get used to sharing your screen with virtual too. All right, guys, I'm gonna share my screen with eApp. It's kind of tricky sometimes. The video's cut off, the rest of your computer's power. So you have to like skip past a certain amount of videos before you can get back to. You know, it's pretty tricky on Zoom. They need to see the application.
You're frozen.
Yeah, always when you're doing, and now when you write down options, I wouldn't recommend sharing it. But when you're writing down their medical information, when you're taking the questions on, when you're punching in their information for their bank and everything, share the screen.
That way they would actually see if something is misspelled, their names, last names, or kids, or anything like that.
Yep, they see the legitimacy too. First 4 questions on the app and the first form that they sign. What are the first 4 questions on the app? Because while you're getting to the point, while you're skipping the videos that you didn't play, and you're getting to the qualifying questions, because you just told them, I just got to see if you can even qualify. Like there's a dead space between that. That's when you want to be having those memorized, so you can be like, okay, skip. What's your first? You know, and hit it with
Save time.
Mhm.
Have you ever been advised by medical physician to reduce your consumption of alcohol or being part of AA? Or did I knew the first 15 by heart?
Good. Know the first 4 by heart. AA, NA, any alcohol consumption, you know, control the low your alcohol consumption. Second one's any DUIs or moving vehicle violations, yada yada. Third one is, have you had, you know, any kind of street drugs not prescribed by a doctor? You know, fourth one is
Should we go into each drug? Some
No.
people would be like,
no boat racing, boat racing, motorcycle racing, car racing, skin scuba skydiving.
Skin
Yep.
dipping.
Skinny dipping, yeah, they'll laugh at that. Yeah. Skin scuba skydiving. What's skin diving? Well, it's when you, I don't know, Mary, actually. I used to tell them, I really didn't even know until this one family was like, that's when you go scuba diving like naked. I was like, that's freaking weird. Why would you want to do that?
What do you mean? It's fun.
Stuff's all over the place in the middle of the ocean. It's kind of weird.
A fish goes up to you. What is this?
But anyway, know the first 4 questions. What's the first form you should have them sign?
HIPAA.
No. Try again.
What's the first form they gotta
The
sign?
electronic,
Signatures.
Electronic application disclosure form. Good job. Woo!
Look at you.
it's a little blurry again, but it's okay.
Do you guys know how to list medications on the prescription addendum, the prescription questionnaire? It'll just have a big blank for you. It'll say explanation of medication,
Do
Or
the name and the dosage.
you'll put
and time.
Adderall,
Yep.
20 milligrams,
Daily or
1x a day.
Try this one. Oh wow, look at that.
Nice.
Getting good at this. So yeah, Adderall, 20 milligrams, 1x a day. And then what? This is what everyone forgets. What's it for? For ADHD treatment. Whatever.
I need to get mine.
the more information you give on a questionnaire, the less the home office is going to look in, the less underwriting is actually going to look into everything. So it's better to be as specific as you can and make them sound as good as you can. It's well under control. High blood pressure is well under control. No problems, right? No concerns. Don't let the questionnaires bait you into making it really bad for the client. Like when it says, how much did you used to drink? And it says less than monthly, weekly, daily, multiple times a day. Try not to put multiple times a day down for the poor client, you know?
And make sure you spell every day, even check your spelling.
Yeah, check your spelling and understand that this underwriter wasn't in the sit. They don't know what's going on. You have to make it look exactly what it needs to say from an outside perspective so they can understand what's going on. If they don't understand what's going on, they're going to start guessing, taking shortcuts, and that's hard for the client. Or they're going to need to make a bulletin and go call the client, and then you have retention problems because you got all these bulletins. Your client's on vacation and he didn't answer you for a week, and the policy went incomplete. Or you didn't tell the client to put your phone number in their phone when you were doing the what comes next form. Put my phone number in your phone right now. That's what I would tell them, for real.
And the picture that you guys take together is added.
Yeah.
Contact information,
Yep.
So you know who you're gonna be talking to and the right person that you gotta talk to.
Yep. Send them a thank you card.
Also their birthday in the system, you can send them a card.
Yeah, I put their birthday in my contact system. Yep. Yep. How to handle a Globe lead.
Globe lead.
Globe Life gives us leads.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, you call them as if you were going to call a regular union lead, but you don't have the union card to go through. You just say, hey, this is Vince Masseri with American Income Life of Globe. Just calling about a request for more information on some life insurance that you had turned into us. I just need to verify the information that's on the card, and I can get you off the phone here. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, great. Now, Mary, did they ever go over with you? Has anyone ever come out to deliver any of the information that you need to know about, like, you know, what policy to choose? Or has anyone ever come out there to discuss options with you? No? Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, that's probably exactly why they have you on my schedule, because Globe Life has no field representatives. They just do stuff through the mail. So when somebody wants some special types of insurance like you, they give us the cards so we can take care of you. I'm with American Income. We have field representatives. We're a unionized subsidiary of Globe, which is actually pretty cool, Lynn, because that means you're going to have access to some union negotiated rates. But the only problem is I'm slammed. We've been in this area for about 10 days now, yada, yada, yada. What's a good time to come see you? Not always going to work, but that's kind of the approach. Difference between a union and association, a credit union and child safe. Okay, I should know that. Associations are like Firefighters Association of America of Illinois, you know, the Nurses Association of Wisconsin. We've seen a couple of those types of leads. ABATE is the biker club. That's an association.
ABATE Biker Club?
Yep. America's Bikers Against something. They're like.
And that's union?
That's an association.
Oh, association. Okay.
That's the difference, right? Association is like a group. Like a VFW, you pay dues every year. You're a member of this group. That's like what associations are. They get cool incentives to be a part of that group. And what do you know? American Income's 4-0 cost benefits just happen to be some great incentives for them as well. Obviously, the head of that group saw value in booking the contract with us, just like the union leaders did. A union is obviously a union, a labor union, where everyone collectively pays dues, and in return for their dues, they get collective bargaining agreements, and they get union negotiated wages, benefits, insurance, rates, safety, everything. Credit union is the same thing as a union, but without the labor time, the labor thing. You know, credit unions are, you know, a bank that is member owned by its members. You know, your $50,000 in your savings account is another dude's mortgage loan.
Oh, crap. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's not something that goes into the stock market. It's invested within its own members.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So, and then they get incentives too for being, you know, members. They pay a yearly fee. They have meetings, and they get cool lower interest rates on car insurance, all that good stuff. You know, credit union gave me a free phone repair once a year. I got a $300 screen replaced for free. Yeah. Child safes, you know what child safes are. How to handle objections at the door, don't gotta worry about that. Know the agent playbook. walk yourself through the entire agent playbook. It's in that zip file I gave you. Takes at least an hour. Put an hour aside to go through that playbook, and you're going to come back out of that hour with a lot more knowledge and a lot more little tools in your tool belt.
Which one is it?
It's an agent playbook in that new agent zip file I sent you.
New agent zip file. Okay.
Yep. Because you were here and you didn't have it, and I sent this big zip file to you.
Benson stuff. Okay, so
Hugh Bell's 5 Things for Enthusiasm. We went over those in the first workshop together, guys.
agent zip file right here.
Power phrases, 3 times people think about life insurance, etc.
First one is, and somebody,
Right.
somebody, yep.
Power phrases are like, what are some good examples of some power phrases?
Left down on left.
Power phrases, like there used to be one where you'd be like, hey, Joe, if you went down to the job site tomorrow and the boss said, hey, we're doing so great, we're actually going to give you 1 hour more of work every week. You're going to have 41 hours in your paycheck instead of. You wouldn't be coming home, buying a Ferrari, booking a trip to Vegas just because you're getting 1 more hour, right? Okay. Now, on the other hand, if you went into work and the boss said, "Hey, things are getting slow at the mill. We gotta lay you back some hours here. We're gonna only have to give you 39 hours this week. You're gonna need to leave an hour early every once a week. You're gonna need to leave the job an hour early because we gotta cut some hours." Okay. Even when you did that, Joe, you wouldn't be coming home, shutting off the cable bill, pulling out money out of your retirement, yada, 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 right? You wouldn't be taking food off the table, shutting down this, that, and the other, would you? Right.
So that puts them in the mindset.
Selling your cars, canceling your member, yeah, all that, right? No, I wouldn't be. Exactly, Joe. That's the way our union members looked at it when they created this program. Whether you were losing an hour or gaining an hour, either way, it didn't matter. It wasn't going to affect your lifestyle. But if that same hour every week could protect your family and cover all these gaps on this pie chart forever, would you say that that's worth it? Well, yeah. I mean, what are you getting at? Well, what I'm getting at is you make $30 an hour. That's $120 a month, and I can get your whole family taken care of. Not
Break it down into numbers.
Not to say I'd tell them like that's what I'm getting at, but people usually just say no, it wouldn't make a difference, and I'll be like, okay, and I'll keep writing down the options, and I'll be like, okay, that's how the union felt as well. That's what a lot of our members would say. That's a power phrase, right? 3 times people think about it. Managers. At least 2 sales. You cannot be considered for leasing unless
You're cutting out. I can't.
how to
hear
handle a
you.
POS. That's a story for another day. You guys know at the end of the, I'm sorry,
Oh, you were just cutting out. I think it's good now though.
did you say something?
No, I just couldn't hear what you were saying.
What did you last hear me say?
The POS is a story for a different day.
No, we can't hear.
A POS story for another day.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
And then I missed like a little bit.
The last
before-
thing you heard me say was POS.
Yes, but I missed a little bit before
A little bit
that.
before that.
Yeah.
Before that, I said know the agent playbook, and then power
Mhm.
phrases. 3 times people think about it.
Yeah.
5 Hugh Bell, 5 things for enthusiasm. But it says managers must also, you probably missed was your manager must witness your trainee do 100% of the presentation on at least 2 sales.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yep. How to code leads. So your leads, you're going to get 100 leads for your lead pack, your release pack, right? When they're on your schedule, because you set them on your schedule, they're going to stay on your schedule until 12 p.m. midnight. When your day is done, go back to Impact, go to your schedule, and resolve them as accordingly. Presentation no sale, presentation sale. I wouldn't resolve people like I wouldn't do like refused appointment, because that's just going to take them out of the system. And I don't want to really do that because someone else can get them in their lead pack next month and probably get them booked if you didn't. So presentation no sale, presentation sale. I mean, you can resolve them as refused appointment. Tommy will put them back in another pack. Probably the only one you don't want to use on impact when you hit resolve is the do not contact one. Unless they're extremely upset. I mean, like extremely upset. Like no matter who calls them again, they're gonna lose their shit, and then that's when we have bad problems with the union. And one person ain't worth the whole group. Put them on the do not contact list. I told you guys 100 times I wanted to be placed on the do not contact. Yo, keep calling me. He's like having a heart attack. Joe, at least try to tell him what the benefits are. Shoot your shot. It still doesn't work. Sounds good, Joe. We'll put you on the do not contact list right now. Thank you.
And then 2 weeks later, they get another call.
No, they honestly shouldn't. When you do the do not contact list, it puts them on the internal do not call. It's like a state registry.
Just takes it out. Boom.
It's in there, but their number won't show up anymore.
Oh, that's why when I'm going to the if there's somebody who don't have the.
No number. It'll say do not contact. Yep. So the best time to do that is while they're still on your schedule, because Tommy's going to switch your leads. He's going to be like, everyone resolve your leads. And you're going to be like, oh, shit. I had Joe Schmo from Tuesday, Jimmy from Wednesday. Now I got to go through hundreds of leads and find his name. No, make your life easier. Do it on the end of the night before midnight while they're still on your schedule. Solidification, rated risk, the importance of good retention. Okay. This and then policy mods and the underwriting field manual is the last touch base on. It's all we'll have time for. So your first 12 months.
No way. Here.
Put the spit on it? Like, what do you gotta
I
do?
think this is my last one. I think you suck the ink. Thing. Here,
Bro?
my last one. It's working. He worked on my paper, so if it's not the paper, then it's the damn board.
I think you're right. This board does something weird. It has all this residue left on it.
Oil. Oil does that.
Coats the thing.
Here.
There's scrags.
It's $5 to clean your windshield, sir. I ain't laughing.
Huh? What are you talking about?
All right. Thanks, Lynn. For the first 12 months, you're going to be on net to gross. Net to gross looks at your gross ALP that you've submitted. Let's say for this example is 30,000. And it always looks at what's actually still on the books. That's your net. So let's say you still have 25,000 still on the books. That's your net number for that month. Every month, they're going to look at that, and the percentage is going to be your net to gross percentage for that month. So let's say I start in January, and in March, I've already written 30 grand, and in March, only 25 is still on because I wrote some big deal and it fell off, right? You guys know how to get percentages, right? $25,000 divided by 30,000 is 83%. So for that month of March, you have an 83% net to gross.
How did you calculate that again, sir?
25,000 divided by 30,000.
0.83.
83. All right. Now here's where this comes into play. From months 0 to 4, there is no requirement, no minimum net to gross you have to have. This just changed. Let me grab this paper because I don't want to give you guys the wrong stuff.
Yes, sir.
¿Tienes tu cargador?
Sí. ¿Es Colombia?
Sí, señor. Colombiana.
Colombiana, vamos
Tiene
a...
5 años con un niño. Vámonos, Brody.
Ah,
Vámonos, Brody.
esa va para mí.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sorry, that's not really Colombian.
Months 4 to 6, it's 84%. And months 7 to 12, it's 80%. Do you guys know what happens when your net to gross goes under that number when you're in that month?
Problems?
Problems. Bonus problems. Every percentage you start to go under that number, they will reduce your bonus by 10%. So if you're 2% below 84, you're going to have your bonus reduced by 20%. You'll start to pretty much lose your bonus. You only get your advance.
Because of retention?
Yep. You go beneath 73,
Then they take money out.
they're starting to take your advance. They're starting to lower your advance. Because all you're doing is signing people up, and all they're doing is paying you several months in advance. And then these people aren't even making it past their first month. The company's now losing money, and you're now in debt to them. That's why they start to take, lower your advance, everything like that. Now, when you fix your retention, you'll get all that advance they held from you back. You get it all back besides the bonus.
It's easy to lose it, but it's hard to gain your retention.
It is. One deal, pretty much. You lose like you need to write like 3 deals to replace one.
And they can't fall back.
So after that, you're on retention. 12 plus months, you're just going to be on what's called retention. And retention is always looking at like a rolling 6-month period. So it's always looking at your 6th to 12th month. No one's probably going to go over this with you guys, so make sure you take notes on this. So let's say we're in March again. Right, March. Let's make it easy. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, right? So let's say you're in the month of March and you're on retention now because you've been here for a year. They're going to look at the 6th to 12th month, and that's how they'll grade you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll look at September, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to March. Right, so they'll be looking at the net to gross in these 6 months, and that's going to determine your retention percentage.
So from March to September.
So for retention, pretty simple. You just can't fall beneath 73. Or again, you start to lose your bonus in advance. So when it turns to being April, what are they going to look at now? Now they're going to look at, since it's April now they're going to look at October to April. Then when May comes, they're going to be looking at November
To May.
to May. Exactly. They're going to always look at your 6th to 12th month and the net to gross that's in those 6 months, and that's going to determine your retention percentage. And that's what you're on. That's what you're graded on after 12 months. Any questions on that?
Clear.
You even get a retention bonus boost on your bonus when you have good retention. Like if you have above 88% net to gross and stuff, they'll give you up to 10 to 20, 30% extra on your world's greatest bonus, which is just amazing. So good retention is going to make you a lot more money here. Renewals will be bigger. You get a bonus boost. Back end checks will be bigger.
About how much you gotta put away? Make sure you put away
20%
Of every check, okay.
20% for your taxes. Policy mods, Wednesday bulletins. This will be the last thing we'll discuss. Can I erase this?
Yes. Oh, wait. I believe so.
What's a bulletin? Does anybody know? A bulletin is something that comes out
There you got things.
during underwriting, during the 6 to 8 weeks. That's a bulletin. Bulletins come out for problems that happen during underwriting. That's something that you messed up on the app. They need a questionnaire, they need a depression questionnaire, they need to talk to them about their anxiety, whatever. It's something that you didn't do on your application. It's gonna come out, it's gonna be a bulletin. Bulletins, what they do is they go incomplete after 14 days. Honestly, I think it's like less, it's like 12 days. Like there's barely any time really to get a bulletin done. It's like almost like, 12 days or so. Incomplete after 12 days. You'll get charged back. Your retention will take a hit. Your net to gross will take a hit. That's why no matter what, it's always best to get everything you need for that app while you're there, no matter what. No matter if you have to miss the sale, you don't write up stuff that's shady, that's weird, that's missing something, that's half-assed. Mods come out for things that are happening after underwriting. A mod, a policy modification. Policy mods, they go NTO after 30 days. So underwriting has determined they have a rating. Underwriting determined that they had tobacco in their oral. Any result of underwriting that needs to have something modified on the policy is going to come out in a paper as a mod. The mods go NTO after 30 days. That's just another word for incomplete. That means not taken out.
Oh, okay.
Premium was never taken out. Underwriting was finished. They approved them for a certain policy rate, and you never had the premium taken out. NTO, not taken out. Mods, a lot of times when there's a rating that's over $10, you have to go on to the agency resource center and do a cash on demand request for the additional amount. You'll learn that stuff later. That's why we say during what comes next, if it's over $10, I have to call you. Because you got to call them, hey, it's going to be $10 more. I'm going to put this through. It's going to come out in the next 2 to 6 days. And there's a certain way you want to call those people too. I told you the learning don't stop. Your next 90 days are just essential. They're like boot camp. The more we mess around in boot camp, the more casualties we're going to have in the war. Boot camp, next 90 days. Learn everything you can. Keep working hard. Keep your nose in the grindstone. It's going to be tough. I know you guys probably want to take a break right about now, but it's not time to take a break. You got to go hard. You got to keep it going. You got to keep your vision close and understand what you're doing this for. 30 days, 90 days for the rest of your life. It's the easiest way I used to look at it. 90 days for the rest of my life. You want to get 100 presentations in your next 90 days as well. If you get 100 presentations in your next 90 days, statistically speaking, 30 of them will be sales. Average sales size is 800 ALP. What's 30 times 800 ALP? 24 grand. You'll make You'll make 12 grand over the next 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. 4 grand a month. And you should surpass this, but this is just what you want to shoot for. 100 presentations in your next 90 days, get you 30 sales, 24 grand ALP. What do you need to become an SA?
18.
You need 24 grand in a rolling 90 days. Wow.
18 is for your insurance, I forgot.
There it is right there. And you get your insurance, right? So, everything
Bada bing, bada bow.
Bada bing, bada boom, 90 days. After those 100 presentations, I promise you, no matter how bad it might have been, or no matter how far away you might have felt from being a closer, after those first 100 presentations, you're going to be predicting what people say. That's how good you're going to be. Just like any other trait or skill or habit. Yeah, you're going to be an animal. You'll have something in your pocket for the rest of your life that you can never lose. The art of sales, the art of closing, the art of people business, influence, transfer of belief. So we talked about how retention, you don't want to have it happen, okay? Here's the 5 ways you can lose business. We talked about the 5 ways you need to collect referrals. Here's the 5 ways you can lose business and hurt your retention. NTOs from mods going, over time. Incompletes from bulletins. Cancellations from clients. Withdrawals from clients, which is just during the underwriting or even mainly during that first week on that verification call, they said, I want to withdraw. It's like a cancellation, but it just happens in a different time frame. It just happens in the first week or two. Other than that, we have declines. And there's your 5 ways you can lose business in this deal. You master those 5 ways, you'll never have a single retention problem. You'll always maximize your income. You teach that to your empire, to your team you're going to build. Guess what? Now your renewals off your team are going to be better. Now you think your bad retention's bad.
Yeah,
Imagine if you had a team of 10 people having bad retention.
Your team has to have good retention. It's not going to affect you.
I never had to worry about this ever because I just did the right things for the right people in the right place at the right time. Never had to worry about it. I didn't even know it was a requirement. I had no idea. I just rocked an 87+ retention the whole time because Gio taught me how to build a solid relationship and stay in a home for way too long and get big sales. They need to buy you. They need to buy you. If you made a sale and it was too easy and they just like try to rush you to the end and they pick an option, like I always know that that's like not going to be a sale. We just want to buy it. We just want to see rates. We're interested. I'm like, slow your roll because something's up here, And honestly, the other way around, the harder it was to sell them, the better it's going to be. The more solid it's going to be. Always think, have I answered all the questions that this client would have to pay me $100 for the rest of their life? And if I don't, I start backtracking in my solidification. Remember, this is the whole life. Remember, this rate will stay forever. Remember, it grows cash. Do you have any questions on the whole life?
Guaranteed.
Great. Why now? Here's your summary sheet. We have 100,000 the whole life, 200,000 accidental. I don't care if I already showed him what it was. I'm going to show him again. It's going to have this much if you die in an accident. This much if you don't die in an accident.
Should we ask them? Like, what is this going to get you?
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely.
What is this going to get you?
Yes.
I want to know that you understand
Yes.
what I'm.
Yes, I would totally do that, especially when you're newer. If you feel that it's like a little bit uncertain or too easy, I would totally do that. Because when people buy something, they want to make sure they bought the best. And they want to see it. And they're going to assume because of your great presentation, they bought the best. But when they go asking around and talking to other people are going to tell them about term, about how I just got something for $1 through the mail. They're going to tell them everything that society usually sees about life insurance. Why are you paying so much? Mine was only this much. Well, I have Universal. Well, I have this. Well, yeah. Lynn told me that Universal is garbage, and Lynn told me that term is garbage. That's why I pay more. Mine's locked in, and mine grows cash value. And their friends would be like, oh, what? Can I have Lynn's number? Right? As opposed to you barely did any educating. You went really quick. You talked too monotone, and everything their friend just said sold them. Now you got to withdraw. Yeah, man, I was thinking about it, man. I don't know. I'm just going to wait because I'm confused now. You have to answer everything proactively, reactively, professionally, like a friend. I don't care if you got to call him a week later. If it's a big deal, hey, how's little Jimmy's football game last night? Was it good? Great.
Right.
Just want to let you know everything's going great with your policy. Do you have any questions for me? Great. The premium's going to be coming out in a few days. I'll mail the folder out to you immediately following this meeting. It's going to have everything that you need in here. You got to be very specific with them. Oh, we got your bank account. Yep. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Yep. All right. Great. What comes next? Summary sheet. Great. See you later. Now, hey, we're going to mail out this policy file to you. You're going to get your policy in the mail in 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to get your actual folder with the benefits inside of it. in the next week. I'll mail it out to you personally, yada, yada, yada. Put my number in your phone,
With a business card in the folder,
business card in the folder.
thank you note, like a sticky, you know those the sticky notes?
Sorry, I gotta get you guys out of here. Strong phone presentation, how to set with the wife, how to maintain control, the importance of number 8 on scheduling. If you go to the agent playbook, rule 8 in the scheduling tips is always book on the first call. It's very true. Odds of you. How to handle someone that's been seen in the past 6 months. Those are all things your manager. No call, no shows to union members. You call, no show a union member 3 times and they report you, you might lose your union leads.
Oh, wait, what do you mean? So if you don't.
I mean, if you set somebody for 6 to 8 and it's freaking 10 o'clock and you're getting out of your last sit and you decide you want to be lazy and not let him know you were stuck in a sit for the past 4 hours, he's sitting at home for 2 hours waiting for you. He's going to be one pissed off guy. You got to call people. You can't no call, no show. Don't do anything that you wouldn't want done to you, to these people, or you're going to get reported. If you get 3 PR complaints, they're going to discuss taking your union leads forever. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Ashley, do you come in? Are you in Illinois?
No, I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Jesus.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, I never actually have seen you before. Keep seeing you on Zoom.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes with these training classes, it's like I mix them up with the one from before. I'm like, is this the same person? Like we still haven't seen. I've never seen him in real life. You're like characters, fictional characters.
Far away, sadly.
All right, girl. All right, boy.
About to sell this Colombian lady.
See you guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
man.
you.
Great info.
Well,
Good energy.
Hi, friends.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
I hope it's okay. I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm going to be munching here, but I'll mute myself.
Oh, that's totally fine. I don't think anybody minds.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You guys hear me? Sorry, there was the original camera and everything that we usually have in here was not here. So I just got my own tripod, kind of just set it up real quick. So you guys can see me and hear me okay, everyone on Zoom?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Nice. You munching, you said.
Yeah, sorry, we were grinding, Steve and I were grinding really hard for that hour we had off, and I totally spaced on lunch, so I'm just gonna snack real fast.
All right, you can do it with me, but I wouldn't advise doing it with someone like Tommy or anything like that. Man.
I would, yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. I won't do that in the future.
Tommy's in that meeting. He's using the mic. Oh, good. It's all good. They can hear me pretty well. I checked right there. I'll go check. Yeah, you the person. Appreciate your help. Yeah. All right, guys. So how are we all doing today?
Good. How about you?
Oh, I'm great. Fantastic. Better now that I'm seeing all these wonderful faces. Are you related to Miss Gio's girlfriend, Miss I don't know, Melissa? I don't want to butcher the last name. I always say Nguyen, but it's like Nugent.
Yeah, it's Wen. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not related. That name is just like Smith or Johnson when we're Vietnamese. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did say it was, the way you just pronounced it, like, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure. Melissa says it's one way. Gio says it's another way. I just heard that way from someone else as well. So, but all right. So we'll get right into everything. What we're going to be going over today is getting the clients on Zoom and getting control on Zoom. Different ways we can establish control over Zoom. Rapport. Not to brag, but I like to think I'm pretty good at rapport by now. Not just because I've been here for a little bit, but that was kind of like the only thing that was like keeping me grounded when I didn't have the skill set, was just the ability to be talkative and relate to people, smile, make them comfortable, make them buy you. So we'll go over some rapport tips and the rapport questions. Maybe if we have time, I can fit in some role playing on how I build rapport with someone who's quiet and trying to be all tough and doesn't want to talk at all, which is just the worst thing ever. But we can get around that. You gotta be able to crack the toughies. You can crack them, and if you can't crack them at the beginning, you can crack them throughout the whole entire presentation. Then we have the last thing we'll touch base on is the introduction, kind of going over the ratings, who we are, and what we're going to do today. Now, how many of us in here, I know pretty much, how many of us in here are on Gio Baca's MGA deal, or I know you guys are on my MGA deal in the house here. Talia, you're on mine. What are you guys are on Gio's as well? Okay, you three. All right, great. And then, so Ben and Indy, you guys are not.
Yeah, I'm with Jay Bond.
Ashley. I'm sorry.
Sorry, one person at a time. What was that?
I'm with Gio and Ashley.
Oh, so you are. All right. And who are you with, Ben?
I'm with Jay Bond.
Oh, let's go. So everyone in here is on Gio's team. Oh boy, I should have had a whole teleprompter going. I'm just playing. But that's good because there's a few discrepancies between Josh's script and our script. Theirs is a little bit more simplified, a little bit less detailed, a little bit less assumptive. Ours is assumptive as all hell, and it just gets right down into business kind of at the beginning when we tell them what we're going to do today. Rather than kind of fluffing it and like keeping it a little bit hidden, like I'd say some of the other scripts do that kind of beat around the bush. But we also, to flip that, we do a lot of beating around the bush with our ratings, and we do a lot of like fluff with the discount card and pretty much things that build better character. They sell them more on you, and that's why you'll notice that our team generally gets bigger deals. We might be in the house longer, but our deals are massive, because if someone's going to give you over $200 a month for the rest of your life, they have to buy you first before anything else, or it's just not going to happen. It's not going to stick. They got to have full certainty in you. Then they also, after buying you, they buy the company. And that's why our ratings are a little bit lengthy. And a lot of other teams are like, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot for a trainee to remember. It may be, but I promise you, if you just burn this script into your head, I used to repeat myself going back and forth with Gio till like 1 a.m. and I didn't even get the right script the first day. I got like a whole other one, learned it, then got handed pretty much my ass handed to me on a silver platter because I wasn't saying what he was. And I was like, well, I'm like, what? I'm just saying what I learned. He's like, no, you want to say this, So back in Arius, it was pretty insane when I started. Gio was brand new. He was an essay, and he was just kind of teaching his guys to do exactly what he did. So that's where I came from. I'm pretty sure me and Gio, I think we're the only two guys right now from Arius agencies that stuck together and made it and did very well. So you guys are going to be looking at a little bit of a doppelganger version of him today. I'm just a little bit more goofy. So Gio's as goofy as I am, but he puts a good professional front on at all times. So that's how we click during training, that's for sure. But more or less, guys, so we'll jump right into everything here. And first thing I want to start with is getting people on Zoom. So what exactly, before I jump into getting people on Zoom, I was going to touch base on a few phone call tips, but what were the topics discussed in the last training class? I know you guys had Tommy on Monday. I can imagine that was just $1 million information being spewed out all over the place, but who was on Tuesday? Who'd you guys have yesterday?
Casey. We had Casey yesterday.
What did Casey go over?
We went down like the daily breakdown. So what kind of our schedule is going to look like. So the huddle, client services, presentations, and things like that. And then we went down to lead packs and how that referrals, it was mostly referrals, I feel like, and a little bit of child safe kit and things like that.
Okay,
yeah, we
great.
finished on the will kit, and that's pretty much where we ended with like KISS and just like the RRR, like referrals, recruiting, retention, just basic tips. That's how we finished the day.
Nice. Glad you guys are good note takers. Note takers.
Note takers are money makers. Jinx.
There we go. See, I knew this room right here. There's a lot of future money in this room right now. I can tell you guys that. This is, I've never had a whole training class of our deal, so that's amazing. No wonder, right? But so guys, so that's good. So we really didn't get much on phones or anything like that. I just let Mason in. Mason, you gotta, if you ain't gonna give me the respect to join me in the class, man, I at least gotta see your little cute face on the camera. Can't pick favorites, bro. I'll boot you out like I do to other people. Hey, good looking. Is that Thor? Is that Thor? No, I'm just kidding. Just gonna say it to you all week now. But anyway, guys, so getting people on Zoom. So the main thing here with getting people on Zoom is what happens before getting them on Zoom, which is the phone call. Okay. Now the phone calls, I'm sure most of you know, coming from our lineage here, the phone call has to be loud, it has to be proud, it has to be very urgent sounding, just a lot of presence and oomph coming through that phone line. Gio will keep our trainees across the room. Unfortunately, Alex knows, and we'll make them. Hey, Vince. Hey, Vince. No, a little bit louder. I can't hear you. I'm all the way over here. Hey, Vince. And it's just like you'd figure you'd be screaming at the guy, by the time you got on the phone and really did it. But once you start to get that persona down, they don't know you from Adam. So they just assume you're just this swagged out superwoman, Superman, here to deliver their benefits. And they like that at the end of the day. They want to buy and they want to trust and they want to be helped by somebody that has confidence and speaks with function, speaks punctually, right? So on the phone, be loud. Of course, these are tips you already know, but over the phone, solidification is probably the most important thing for getting people on Zoom. So I'll just touch base on that real quick. When you get down to the end of this phone call, the show ratio has never been more important than in my entire career than when we went virtual. Back in the day, you set somebody down, as long as you knew how to have a good system of follow-ups, you were seeing that person no matter what. And there was nothing wrong with it. And it made you nervous, it made you feel anxious, you kind of felt like you were just annoying the crap out of people, but there's a letter from the president, there's a letter from them, there's a common agreement on the phone that you would be here at this time. If I miss you and I come back with a smile the next day and I took time out of my day and I missed you, and I'm driving around spending my money to give you free benefits, you bet your ass I'm coming back with a smile on my face to figure out what happened. Hey, Joey, must have missed you yesterday, right? So there would never really be a person that I would miss. And they can get as awkward as they want, and they can look down and scratch their head and look to the left, and you start to learn how to read body language, and you know people are BSing you, and you get your way in that door, you start building rapport, and rapport will fix anything. Rapport will fix any awkward tension on the phone. Rapport will fix any kind of abrasiveness you might have given them on the phone. When you get in that house, I used to just think, please, just let me get down in rapport. You'll have to love me. I will force you to love me. And it's over, right? So those always become the best sales too. The harder they are on the phone, the bigger the sale is going to be. I promise you that. The easier they are on the phone, I'm like ready for a no-show, because it's like they're just yep, right. So on the phone, the solidification guys, we have a system on our team where we do like 3 of them. My GA Matthew Hunsberger kind of is very good at this because he just doesn't care what the person may think. He's very strategic, he's very systematic. He'll say, all right, Mary, key words I'm going to use, guys, just make sure you listen, because you don't just want to give a half-assed version of this. There's stronger words in here. So Mary, we have you down on the schedule for tomorrow, anytime between 5 and 6. Before I lock you in, do you see any reason why you and your husband, Joe, wouldn't be able to be there tomorrow, anytime between 5 and 6? So keywords were wouldn't be able to be there tomorrow. I'm naming the place again. I'm naming the husband again. I'm naming the appointment time again. And I say any reason, and I talk with that slower, like it's like exaggerated. You would think when I used to watch Gio do these things, I'd be like, this is a joke. Like this can't work. These are tough blue collar guys, and he's going all I don't want to say gay, but like kind of like very, very happy, very, very like everything is great, right? I thought, me coming from the carpenters union, I'm like, they're gonna eat this, they're just gonna destroy this dude. He's too nice, but he's stern and then he's nice, and then he's stern and then he's nice, and you can't hate that. So do you now ha on the phone the whole time, but when it comes down to business, do you see any reason why you and your husband Joe wouldn't be there tomorrow anytime between 5 and 6? And as much as I didn't have that kind of facial muscle movement down, I wasn't a salesman before this. I didn't talk like that. It took me a while. I was pretty hesitant. I wanted to be myself, right? So I'd be like, do you see any reason why that time frame wouldn't work for you? And it just wasn't happening. I was getting no shown. I was getting not taken seriously. I was getting a lot of questions I shouldn't have had. So trust me, it does a lot more than you realize psychologically, to do that with your voice. But anyway, they say, no, we should be there. And you'll say, all right, I just want to make sure, because we do sit down with 8 to 11 members a day. And if I put you down on the schedule and we miss you, that does mean another union member who's been waiting on their benefits wouldn't be able to be seen during that time. So that time frame does work for you? And they'll be like, yeah. No, that would work for us, right? And trust me, the movements, the hands, I used to have to walk around in Arias agencies. It was a very big building, just like ours. I used to be like almost like some like rapper, like Eminem or something, just over there. Like, do you see any reason why you would, just to get the words out the right way? And when I went home, my mouth kind of hurt. And that was, now it's just natural. Now I go into a training class. I know how to talk to you